Cookie.
Oh, what a beautiful boy. Oh, look at its feathers. Oh, hi, I'm King.
And I'm Emma. Hello. And today we are in the Play School Animal Sanctuary and we have a very special guest. Well, two actually. This is Cookie the Kookaburra and this is wildlife expert Ben.
Hi, Emma. Hi, King.
Hi, Ben.
Hello there. It's so great to be here.
Well, have you ever seen a kookaburra? Maybe in your garden or maybe in the bush? Maybe not up close like this. Oh, Cookie's so tame, Ben.
He sure is. Cookie is very friendly, and that's because he's been raised by humans, and he's 30 years old, so he's very used to being around people.
Wow.
He is such a beautiful colour and he's actually a little bit different from some of the kookaburras that I'm used to seeing. So what sort of kookaburra is he, Ben?
Well, kookaburras are part of the kingfisher family, and Cookie is a special type of kookaburra known as the Blue Winged Kookaburra, and you can tell because look at these beautiful blue colours on his wings. You might have also seen the laughing kookaburra, and laughing kookaburras are a little bit more brown and grey in colour, and they have just a little bit of blue on their wings.
Well, I know I've heard a laughing kookaburra. Have you? They can be very noisy, especially early in the morning.
Funnily enough, even though it sounds like a kookaburra is laughing, their call is actually a warning sign to other kookaburras to stay away from their territory. And sometimes family groups of kookaburras will laugh together, but they're not telling each other funny jokes. They're sending messages.
Oh, now, what do they eat, Ben? I think I've seen one with a worm in the garden.
That's right. Well, kookaburras are carnivores, so that means they eat meat. And some of their favourite foods are small mammals like mice and rats, small reptiles like lizards and snakes, and sometimes they'll even eat frogs and insects as well. And have a look here at Cookie's beak. It's very long and pointy and sharp. And what they do is they dive bomb out of the trees to grab their food.
Ah, so if we see one in the garden, should we feed them?
No, we should never feed kookaburras or any native wildlife for that matter because we might make them sick. And they can also become dependent on humans for food, so that means they'll stop looking for their own food.
So Cookie's visiting us in Play School today, but where do they usually nest, Ben?
Well, kookaburras pair for life, and they nest in hollow logs high up in the treetops. And both the male and the female kookaburra will look after the eggs and the babies together.
Well, I think that all of that makes the Australian kookaburra an amazing animal, don't you? And I've got a funny feeling that you could do a pretty good kookaburra laugh, Ben.
All right, I'll give it my best shot.
Well, why don't we all do that? Why don't we all sing and laugh together? Come on.
Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree,
very, very
king of the bush you see.
Laugh,
Kookaburra laugh, kookaburra gay, your life must be.
Oh, very noisy, Ben.
I think Cookie approves.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Rachel.
Squiggle, squiggle, wiggle. Hello, I'm Matt.
There's a lot of wiggling and squiggling going on over here. Hi there, my name's Ben.
Yes, Ben is a wildlife expert.
Do you know where all of these frogs and tadpoles have come from?
I sure do. You can find frogs in many different places. They like cool, damp areas, so ponds and creeks, really bushy places, and sometimes you can even find them living around your home.
What, like sitting on the couch reading a newspaper?
Not quite on the couch. They prefer cool, damp places, so maybe inside a drain pipe or even hiding inside your letterbox.
Have you seen a frog around your house somewhere?
These frogs down here, these are called green tree frogs.
Ooh, and let me guess, you can find them in trees.
Exactly. They like to live high up in the trees where they blend in amongst the leaves with their beautiful green colours.
Ah, so what about these wiggly waggly tadpoles?
Well, these little tadpoles here, they like to live in clear, shallow water. And they don't have any arms and legs just yet, so they can't do all of the things that a frog can do.
Like jumping?
That's right.
Or ribbit, ribbit.
Exactly. But frogs do start out as teeny, tiny little eggs.
Oh, and eggs can't jump or ribbit either.
Not yet, but they do hatch into tadpoles. And eventually, the tadpoles grow 2 arms, they grow 2 legs, their tail disappears inside their body, and that is when they become a frog.
Wow, that's amazing.
It sure is. Frogs are the most amazing animals, and they're known as amphibians. And amphibians, well, they like to live in and around the water. They also start their life off with gills, so they can breathe oxygen under the water, and then they develop lungs, and they come onto the land and they breathe in the air, just like a frog. How cool is that?
So cool. Well, this little amphibian is very, very cute. He's got a white belly and, oh, beautiful shiny green skin.
And he's got little webbed froggy feet and sticky pads on his toes for climbing.
How do frogs talk to each other, Ben?
That's a good question. Frogs love to chat, and a little bit like your ribbiting from earlier on, they communicate by ribbit croaking.
So maybe they did understand what I was saying before.
Have you ever heard a frog croak before? Maybe when you're out for a walk, or maybe even in your backyard.
Frogs are really amazing animals, and so are tadpoles. Come on, sing with us.
I'm an amazing animal. This is how I go. Swimming, swimming, swimming to and fro.
Swim, swim.
Okay, this time let's jump like a frog. Here we go. I'm an amazing animal. This is how I go. Ribbon. Jumping, jumping, jumping to and fro. Ah, well, thanks for coming to visit us, little tadpoles and little green tree frogs, and thanks for sharing with us, Ben.
Thanks for having me. It's been so much fun.
Ribbit, ribbit, croak. I think that frog just said, have a nice day. Huh?
Fish and Ben, the animal expert.
Hi, Michelle. Hi, Kang. Hello there. Today, I've brought some of my favourite fishy friends to show you.
Ben, why aren't all these fish in one big tank?
Well, you might recognise these fish down here. These are called goldfish, and they live in fresh water, a bit like the water you find in a river, a lake, or even a pond. And lots of people keep goldfish as pets.
Have you ever seen a goldfish? Maybe you have them in your home.
Now, what about this magnificent red fish with the big billowy tail?
Isn't he beautiful? This is another type of freshwater fish known as the Siamese Fighting Fish. Here's a fun fishy fact for you. Siamese fighting fish can survive in shallow puddles of water on the rainforest floor for short periods of time.
Oh, well, I'm glad this special fish has a tank to swim around. He's far too magnificent to swim in a puddle.
Oh, and Ben, what are these orange, white, and black fish in here?
Well, these ones here, these are saltwater clownfish, and they live in the ocean where the water is really salty.
Ah, so that's why they're not in the same tank. All the water is different.
Exactly.
Oh, and are they called clownfish because they're funny like clowns?
Close. They get the name clownfish from their beautiful bright colours like a clown, as well as the bouncy way that they swim around.
Ben, how do these fish breathe underwater?
That's a great question, Michelle. Fish actually breathe oxygen just like we do. And inside the water, there is lots of oxygen. And fish have very special gills on the side of their head that help them to take in that oxygen and stay alive.
Ah, can you see the gills on the side of the fish, helping them to breathe underwater? Oh, I wish I could breathe underwater.
I can blow bubbles underwater.
Here's another fun fishy fact for you. Did you know that the male Siamese fighting fish builds a bubble nest where the female will come and lay her eggs?
A bubble nest?
Wow, that sounds like lots of bubbly fun.
You are so full of fun, fishy facts, Ben.
Well, I've got one more for you. Did you know that fish have been around since before the time of the dinosaurs?
Wow, that's amazing.
Imagine that. Fish have been swimming and swishing through the water before the dinosaurs.
Can you make a swishing fish too? Sing with us. All the fish are swimming in the water, swimming in the water, swimming in the water. All the fish are swimming in the water. Roll away.
Oh, big fish this time. Here we go.
All the fish are swimming in the water, swimming in the water, swimming in the water. All the fish are swimming in the water. Folder, roller, ray.
Hello, I'm Teo.
Hello, I'm Zinzi. We have some very special guests on Play School today.
Hello, my name is Ben, and this here is my little friend Blossom. And if you look just here, she has a little baby, and his name is Gumnuts, and he's only 6 months old.
Oh, so beautiful.
We're learning all about animals today here in the Play School Animal Sanctuary.
Blossom and Gumnuts are mammals. A mammal is a kind of animal that feeds milk to their babies. Did you know humans are mammals too?
That's right. And here in Australia, we have almost 30 different species of possums and gliders. And possums are a special type of mammal known as a marsupial. And marsupials, well, they have a pouch, and that's where the babies live while they're growing up to be big and strong.
What other animals have pouches? Kangaroo?
Yes, kangaroos. And what about wombats?
Oh, koala?
Koalas as well. That's right. Now, Blossom, she's known as a ringtail possum, and she gets her name from her beautiful long tail that looks like a ring. Look at that.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Wow, it must be so handy having a tail, Blossom.
Sure is. Blossom uses her tail for climbing in the trees, hanging from the branches, and she also uses it for balance when she's running through the treetops.
Cool.
And when she's not using her tail, she has it curled up in a coil, just like this.
Yeah, she's got a little coil there now.
That's right.
A coil is lots and lots of circles together, kind of like a slinky. Boing, boing, boing.
Or a rope, or a spring. Very cool, Blossom.
Yeah.
That's right. Now, if we take a closer look here at Blossom, she is covered in soft grey fur to keep her warm. Except on her belly, it's a little bit lighter in colour, and on the tip of her tail, it's white.
Oh, such beautiful colours. How did Blossom get her name then?
Well, it's a lovely story, Zinzi. Blossom gets her name after her very favourite food, which are the blossoms or flowers of native Australian trees, just like this.
What else does Blossom like to eat?
Well, other than flowers, Blossom also likes to eat the leaves and fruits of native Australian trees.
Yum.
And she also likes to eat her own poo.
Did you say poo?
What?
I sure did. Look, leaves and flowers don't have a lot of nutrients, so sometimes possums eat semi-digested food to try and take out as many nutrients as possible.
Ah, nutrients are the things in food that help keep our bodies healthy. Definitely don't eat your own poo, though.
Never, ever, ever. Now, where do possums like to live, Ben?
Well, possums like to live high up in the trees, and they can be found in many different habitats like woodlands, rainforests, and sometimes you can even find them living in the trees around your home.
Habitat is another word for home.
Do possums build cubby houses in the trees, or do they have hammocks? Oh, or maybe they've got a really small little bed.
Very close, very close. Ringtail possums build a special nest called a dray, using twigs and leaves and branches just like the one that Blossom and Gumnuts are sitting in here now. So you could kind of say it's like a cubby house, a hammock and a bed all in one.
Oh, that sounds so comfy.
It sure is. They build it high up in the trees where they feel safe from predators, and they spend the entire day sleeping in their dray.
What? Did you just say that they sleep during the day?
I sure did. Possums are nocturnal, so that means they are asleep during the day and they're active at night. We humans, well, we're diurnal, so that means we're active during the day, but we are asleep at night when the possums are out.
Yeah, I'm diurnal.
So, I'm a mammal, you're a mammal, you're a mammal, but we don't sleep in the trees and we definitely don't eat our own poo. So, how are we the same as possums?
Well, we both have 2 eyes, we both have 2 ears, we've both got a mouth and a nose, we both use our hands for eating our food, and what else? We are covered in hair, possums are covered in fur to keep them warm, and we both feed our babies milk to help them to grow up to be big and strong.
We do have a lot in common with Blossom the possum, don't we?
Do you think you could be a possum too? Can you hurry and scurry? Come on, be a possum with us.
Possum up a tree, possum up a tree. Hurry, scurry,
Possum up a tree. Oh, let's climb this
Yes,
time.
let's climb.
You too. Possum up a tree, possum up a tree. Climbing, 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 possum up a tree.
Such an amazing pattern.
I have never been this close to a snake before. Hello, I'm Mia.
And I'm Matt. Hello. We're in the Play School Animal Sanctuary today with our special guest, wildlife expert Ben.
And as you can see today, Ben has brought 2 friends.
Hi Mia, hi Matt. Hello there. I sure have. These 2 are pythons, and this python here is Rosie, and she is a gorgeous spotted python. And if you look on the branch over here, this is Verdi, and he is a beautiful green tree python. But don't worry, they're pythons, so that means they're non-venomous and they're completely harmless.
That is good.
Now, I thought that pythons were much bigger than this.
Yes, there are some very large pythons that exist, but spotted pythons like Rosie here, they're one of the smallest python species in the world, and this is as big as they grow.
Ah. Have you ever seen a snake poke out its tongue before? Like this? They do that a lot, don't they, Ben?
They sure do. Snakes smell using their tongues, and it tells them messages about what's in their environment. Maybe there's some food nearby, or maybe even a mate. We smell with our nose. Can you imagine smelling with your tongue?
No, it doesn't work.
No, not at all.
So what do they eat?
Well, pythons are carnivores, so that means they eat meat. And some of their favourite foods are mammals, like mice and rats. They'll sometimes eat birds. And one of the favourite foods of the spotted python are little bats that they catch inside the cave. They grab them in their mouth and they wrap them up in their coils.
Wow, that's amazing. Very clever, I must say.
So where do these pythons live?
Well, spotted pythons like to live in really rocky habitats, like caves and places like that, and they blend in amongst the rocks with their beautiful brown and yellow coloration. And green tree pythons, well, they live in the rainforest amongst the beautiful green leaves.
Wow, so I bet that Verdi, with her fabulous colour, finds it very easy to be hidden among the trees.
Definitely, definitely. In actual fact, green tree pythons are yellow when they first hatch out of their eggs, and they only turn green once they become adults.
So they lay eggs?
They sure do. All pythons lay eggs, and the mother python wraps her coils around the eggs, and she shivers to create heat to keep the eggs warm until they're ready to hatch.
Wow.
Wow.
Now, you said these pythons are harmless, but not all pythons and snakes are harmless, are they?
No, here in Australia, we do have some really venomous species of snakes. So if you ever see a snake, you should never, ever try and touch it. But Rosie, she's very friendly. Would you guys like to have a pat?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Have a feel. Isn't she gorgeous?
Oh, she's
She's
very
so smooth.
Very smooth. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm glad that Rosie is a friendly snake, but if you see any kind of snake, make sure you move away slowly and tell a grown-up straight away.
That's right. If you ever see a snake around your home or your backyard, you can call your local snake catcher who will come out and safely relocate the snake to another area. Even though we have some really venomous snakes here in Australia, snakes still play a really important role in our environment, and they deserve our respect and our protection.
Wow, I have learnt so much about pythons, have you?
Yeah, they're amazing.
Come on, let's slither like the amazing python.
I'm an amazing animal. This is how I go. Slithering, slithering, slithering to and fro.
Slither, slither.
Bye. Well, how about this time we hiss like a snake? So we'll do this. Here we go. I'm an amazing animal. This is how I go. Hissing, hissing, hissing to and fro. Oh, well, thank you for coming to visit us, Ben and Rosie and Verdi.
Thanks for having me. It's been so much fun.
Wow, Play School is on YouTube. Subscribe for more content and head over to iView with the link below for more Play School episodes. Bye.